The U.S. House overwhelmingly passed a discharge petition to release the case files involving convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. This after an about phase by President Donald Trump, who until this weekend had opposed its passage. Capitol Hill correspondent Erik Rosales has been following the case from the beginning and joins us with more. Erik.
Well, good evening, Veronica. Yes, it took a while to get to this point. For several months, a bipartisan group of lawmakers were gathering the 218 signatures to force a vote on the U.S. House floor. And in the end, it passed.
On this vote, the yeas are 427, the nays are 1. 2/3 being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended, the bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Now, assuming it passes the Senate, the Justice Department would be forced to publicly release all of its files on the Jeffrey Epstein case. Now, prior to the vote, House Speaker Mike Johnson reiterated that the president and Republicans want transparency, but claims that the current discharge petition could lead to victims' names being released and a smear of names of others who've been cleared by the FBI. He says that this is nothing more than a Democrat political stunt.
Democrats are trying to use the Epstein matter as a political weapon to distract from their own party's failures. And in a desperate attempt, they're trying to somehow tie President Trump to the scandal.
Speaker Johnson adds former President Biden's Justice Department had the Epstein files and did nothing. It's important to know President Donald Trump has denied any connection to the Epstein sex trafficking case. But Lisa Bloom, who represents 11 of Epstein's victims, say, why then hasn't he ordered the files to be released?
If Donald Trump really cared and really wanted the files released, he could order that on his own without Congress. But he's continuing to play political games, and the trauma of the victims continues.
Before today's vote, victims spoke out and challenged President Trump.
Show some class, show some real leadership, show that you actually care about the people other than yourself. I voted for you, but your behavior on this issue has been a national embarrassment.
Along with the co-sponsors of the bill.
Because survivors spoke up, because of their courage, the truth is finally going to come out. And when it comes out, this country is really going to have a moral reckoning. How did we allow this to happen?
Congressman Thomas Massie says senators can make changes to protect the victims, but warns delay is not an option.
Don't muck it up in the Senate. Don't get too cute. We're all paying attention. If you want to add some additional protections for these survivors, go for it. But if you do anything that prevents any disclosure, you are not for the people and you are not part of this effort.
And by the way, if the Senate does make any changes to protect the victims' names, the resolution would then have to come back to the House for another vote, which could cause further delay. But I am hearing tonight that Senate Majority Leader John Thune will actually try and get this bill passed with unanimous consent sometime this week, maybe even tonight. House members also took time on the floor to debate whether or not to censure and remove Democratic Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett from the Intel Committee. The Democrat from the Virgin Islands is a non-voting delegate. Now, she's accused of texting Jeffrey Epstein himself when she was questioning President Donald Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, during a 2019 hearing. A final vote on her censure will likely happen sometime this week. At the Capitol, Erik Rosales, EWTN News Nightly.